replacing this smoke detector. Now this is a hardwired smoke detector. It's basically powered through the house. It's got its own separate breaker on the circuit panel, and then it's connected to the other smoke detector, so if it goes off it sends a pulse to the other smoke detectors to alert every room in the house. And one of the things I like to say with this, it's got a test button on it, and that shows basically that it's getting power to the smoke alarm, but it doesn't really test the smoke alarm's function as far as if it's actually going to work when there's smoke in the room. So there's a spray that you can buy, and this is the spray here, and basically you spray it at the smoke detector, and if the smoke detector goes off, then it's actually working. This is basically to test more that there's power and that the alarm works on it. So this is the brand new one that we're going to be replacing it with. It comes with this cover for it, and that's really only if you're putting it into new construction. And basically once you attach this, you put this over it to keep dust from getting on it. But because we're replacing, we're just going to put this right on. So our bottom plate too for this is larger than the bottom plate that's on the current one. So it's nice, we're not going to have to worry so much about if it was smaller then the paint might not match, but this one's a little bit larger. So let's get started, pull this one off, and I'll show you about the wiring and how it all works. So one of the first things you're going to want to do before you take this off is find the circuit on your circuit board and turn that off for which supplies the power to this. On this one it's got a light so you'll be able to tell which one you turn off. I'm going to do this actually without turning it off because I've done so many of them. But this one you turn to remove, then you look on the back of this one and it's got 3 wires coming out of it. The yellow, black, and the white neutral wire. So first thing we're going to do is disconnect this here. And then this on this one, this is the backup battery, 9-volt battery in it. Okay, once we have the smoke alarm actually off and disconnected, I'm going to loosen these screws and take this plate off. But because it's been painted, I don't want to pull up any of this paint when we take this off. So I'm going to take my knife and we're going to go around it. And this is an awesome knife I just bought. It's called Tough Built. And it's cool because if you only go up part way, it's a knife. But if you go up all the way on it, it'll turn and be a scraper, which is really cool. I love this new tool. Anyway, so we're going to go back. We're just going to score around the edge here just to make sure that we don't pull up any paint with it. Now that we have that scored, we're just going to loosen these screws. I'm going to actually take them all the way out because I like to replace them from a flathead screw, which these are now, to a Phillips screw. So I've got those out. Now we're just going to take this off. Once we've got that off, we're going to disconnect this one. And so we've got a set of 2 red wires here coming out of the box. The black, which is the hot wire, this is the neutral. And they use the red wire here, which is hooked to the yellow one on this, which actually then connects all the other smoke detectors. So if this one goes off, they all go off. So let's disconnect this. Okay, so we're going to reconnect these wires. Now this is the new one, and this one comes with the black, which is the hot. The red is the one that's going to be connecting them together, and then you have your neutral wire. And you can see, like, if this was the only one and they didn't have the red wires to connect them, and this was the only smoke detector in the house, then you're going to just leave this covered. But we're going to take this off, which they've already stripped back the wire on this one. So we're going to connect this one to the red. So this one basically now is red to red. We're going to go neutral, which is white, to the white. And then our power supply, which is the black, and let's get this one on. Once we have those on, then we're going to tuck those back inside the box. And allow that to hang out like that. And where I took out those flathead screws, we'll put in some Phillips screws now. Now that those screws are in, what we'll do is we're going to take the mounting plate, and it has a couple different holes you can go with. We'll slide that in like that. Turn it so it's where it's going to catch. Tighten those down. You don't need to over tighten these. This isn't something that's real heavy, so once you start to see the plastic pull, then that's plenty tight enough. Then now we're going to take the new smoke alarm and put it up. And you want to make sure that you put in the install date so that that way you know when it was installed. We're going to just attach this here, slide that in, and I like to have the install date where it's facing where you don't see it all the time. So we're going to lock that in and then turn it, and we're all locked in. And now this has this pull tab that once you pull this out, it's going to activate the battery backup. And we can see that the light's on this one, so we do have power to it. And it works. Congratulations. Now if yours are anywhere at 10 years or older, then I would just replace all of these, because your family's life is worth much more than $150 in smoke alarms. So it's better to be safe than sorry. So get these replaced within your home.